that I should get the permission of the artist who wrote the song. So I contacted Medan and I spoke to her. Off the bat, she was very sort of excited because she had heard my version of the song. It was very exciting for me to have her excited on the phone call. So it was two people who are constantly excited to have a conversation. So I went off really well, and she was really happy about the song. She was also thanking me for what has become because of the song. How people are starting to look at things in a different light to see that you cannot. It's wrong to kind of hate.
Right.
And we believe this. We know this. We practice it every day.
Yeah, we do.
Through religions and our beliefs.
Right.
That's one thing we have to remember. So yeah, she's a very fun girl, and I think she has a couple of stuff that she's got planned for her future. I think she's planning to put a book or something together.
I think. Wait, you were telling me, Anupama, that this was.
Yes, she was mentioning in a video that I saw online that she was writing a book. And the song was derived out of the plot.
So let me get this straight. This was a marketing strategy for her book?
Something like that, yeah. She's actually writing 3 novels.
Oh, so it's like Twilight, but the...
Exactly. No, not exactly a connected version.
Okay.
But
like something of that idea, I'm
something
guessing.
with a supernatural idea.
Okay.
Have you guys read the book? Because I
No, she hasn't put it out yet. She's still writing it, according to what I saw.
But whatever she did, I think that's a great way to get your book. Like, buy my book.
Yeah, I know.
You never really know. That could be like subliminal messages in that video, like, buy my book.
Who's laughing now?
And she has a theme going on, She has very different ideas. She talks about supernatural stuff, out of this world stuff. So
like, for example, werewolves, if I'm correct.
Werewolves, falling in love with aliens. That was the whole concept, actually. And them having a very ambiguous relationship and then breaking up. That was the base.
And the one thing I really knew was that this one word she said, which I kind of got, okay, so they drive around in a sports car.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty
BMW.
interesting. Okay, so at first, it made me laugh.
Yes.
But now since you met, like, when you really put that in, that's a pretty cool picture, Just imagine a werewolf and an alien in that sports car.
Yeah, because people were asking her why she was mentioning the BMW, and then she was like, the ex-alien and the werewolf are having fun in the BMW. We're like, okay then.
That's a very creative thought. Like for instance, when here's my take on this, right? And you guys are completely free to kind of
here we go.
shoot me down on this. When the guy that came up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a concept for a cartoon series, what was he thinking? He took turtles, which were practically the slowest things on Earth, decided to make them ninjas, gave them an age group, and said, you are now Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you're also mutants. So
and named after, like, some of the greatest
artists in the world.
Yeah.
And so you ask yourself, if we think something is ridiculous, it's only ridiculous because we're not opening our minds to the possibility of that being a reality.
Exactly.
So, but with that said, it would be a very interesting visual to see a werewolf.
I can't see it in a pink car, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that on my mind, we're going to take a real quick break. But coming up on the show, we do have a lot more fun with B himself, and we're going to play a game. I'm not sure what the game is going to be.
Yay, game!
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're going to try the game.
Okay.
All right, also visit our Facebook page on www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. Click the like button and stand the chance to win merchandise by MTV. We're going to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we're back on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Hey! In case you just tuned in, we have a great talent in the studio, B. The man who made something beautiful when everyone else said no.
Thank you.
Again, you just performed your own rendition of the song, and everyone in here was holding candles and
pink cars. That was a pink car.
There was that girl from, like, that one musical famous show where this guy comes on stage. Every time he comes on stage, she's like always crying with pigtails. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So that's how everyone was in here.
Which musical is that? I got to see this because
I can't really remember the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
gotta say that.
Yeah, she's always crying.
That never happens to me, to be honest. Like when I remember performing, and at one particular gig over here, I remember some guy screaming at the back. He said, "Go home." Go home.
Hecklers.
I don't know. I think he was really tired. He must have been really tired. And I think he had probably reached a part of the show where he was like, I want to make it about me. It's never about me. So it was fun. It was fun. But you got to give people what they want.
All right. So now you're not. Now you're a musician. Now you were in a band before. Let's go way back. Let's actually go before that even. Right?
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
Time travel. No, okay. But now, did you find music like, did you know this is my passion since you were a kid? And the first time you maybe held a guitar or played the piano or whatever you did you know that, this is gonna be me. This is gonna define who I am?
No. I remember the best piece of advice my cousin gave me, because he's a recording artist / producer.
Okay.
He was like, if you love music, don't ever make a career out of it.
Seriously?
Yep. Very strong words. And from a young age, that struck a chord with me, because he used to tell me a lot of realities about how the industry works. It's not all, Sony BMG. It's not all about Grammys. It's not always about getting 1 million downloads. There is a quite real aspect to being a musician, which is you have to think about playing the industry, but you have to be smart about how you do it. You have to be able to know what your capabilities and abilities are. And to know that every day you want to strive to do better and to be better, because it's only by doing that you become happy with what you're doing, and it no longer becomes a career. It becomes a part of your life. So I think to me at a young age, I never looked at music as something I should take up and be like, yes, I'm going to make this my career. I was exposed to an organ when I was 3. My dad's friend had brought an organ home, and I'm like, hello.
What does this do?
What is that little device?
What is this? What is this strange feeling in my body?
Exactly. And I was a very curious kid,
Yeah.
I would be like, I would wait for my dad to tell me, don't put your finger near that. And I'd be like, what? Near what? Near what? It's not touching it. It's not touching it. So my dad's friend had brought the keyboard home and left it on the table because he wanted to take it with him later. And I was 3. I was knee-high to a grasshopper back then. So I went up to the table and I started playing with the keys, and I'm like, pong, 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 pong. And so my dad was like, look at this guy. Hilarious. You're so silly. He took a couple of pictures, and then I told him, I said, I want that. Whatever that thing is, I want that. And then my uncle overheard, and he's like, okay, why don't you keep this? Just play on this for a while. And I'm like, yeah. Of course I'm going to play on this the whole day. And so from a young age, I was given that independence to just be me around something that I would come in contact with.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is what kind of grabbed my attention from music being a vice or music being a career path to it being something that's very real. And I have this relationship where I can hit a button or hit a key and react to that and be like, it's talking back to me, and have that sort of communication. It's kind of like how people get pets, or people have friends and best friends. The relationship a musician has with its instrument, whatever its instrument is, guitar, drums, voice, keyboards, it's very intimate. And so when I was about 7, my aunt saw me ogling her play the guitar, and she played a song by Simon and Garfunkel.
Which one was this?
This was
Scarborough Fair?
No, this was I'd rather be a sparrow than a snail. It was off the Scarborough Fair album.
Okay, yeah.
I love that album. And I saw her playing. It's just 2 chords. And I was like, what is that? What are you doing? The curious kid that I was on, what is that? She's like, I'm playing, this is a chord. And I'm like, can you teach me that? So I wanted to know. I wanted to know why, that sounded so good, why I connected with that. So she taught me my first chords, my A, B, C minors, as we call it. And from then on I took up just playing guitar at home. And I used to have a bunch of neighbors that didn't like the idea of me wanting to express myself in a musical fashion. So every other day I would get a Mr. Java, the nail son is making a bit too much noise. Could you ask him to keep it down? We are expecting babies. So, and I would be like, okay, I'm sorry. My dad would come out with me. He'd be totally cool. He'd be like, keep it down. I don't want them calling the cops on me because I have to do my part as a respected, parent. He said, keep it down, don't scream, sing. And I'm like, I have so much of pain.
Let it all out.
Exactly.
Were you an emo kid?
I wasn't actually, because I couldn't, to be honest, I couldn't sing. As a kid, I would listen to all these great bands like, you know, Simon & Garfunkel, The Cranberries, Beatles, and I'd be like, I want to sing that song so bad. But I knew my ability as a vocalist didn't allow me to hit those notes the way I wanted them to. So I would always sing it the way I would sing it to my ability. So it would always be a cover version of the song. I would never do a, you know, I would never be able to do a karaoke version of the song, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because of that, I started singing, and 13, 14, you know, teens started kicking in, so I'm going through a lot of changes, and I'm meeting people, and people are leaving me, and I'm like, okay, I need to tell somebody this. Are you up there? And yeah, so I remember playing a couple of times. Neighbors called, and they were like, you really have to stop what you're doing, because we have kids coming. I'm like, for 5 years, you have kids coming along the way. What's going on?
Pretty interesting.
What is going down there?
Where was this?
Done, next, done. And the days where I think things would get real, you know, cumbersome for me to jam out, as they say, I would sneak, you know, I would take my dad's car keys and, you know, sneak into his Mitsubishi Celeste sports car. I'd lock myself out. And it's soundproof, so it's one of my first encounters to a soundproof environment. And those were it's because of that I enjoy being in a soundproof or a studio environment now, because that much of deafening silence can only motivate you, because you're practically given a blank canvas to do whatever you want to.
So that makes so much, dude. That is so cool.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
and and with that, since you have to be able to sort of, like, to me, what I never set out saying I wanted to write a song. I'm just going to write a song. I'm going to sit down and write the best song in the world. You know, I never thought that. I was always thinking, I'm feeling something, and I have to put what I'm feeling down to words and into melody. So you start out by just putting a feeling or a thought out there, and you know, you just keep working and building on that until eventually you don't realize it, but you have a song. Right. You know. Yeah. And so from then on, we got didn't join the whole school band. Went through the phase of having a school band. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a guitarist. I didn't want to sing. I'm like, no. Y'all sing. I'll play guitar.
This is your first time in a band?
This is my first time in a band.
How old were you?
I was 16. Okay. School buddies, best mates at that time. We just had a camera and a couple of guitars, and we wanted to live the dream.
Right. Okay.
I guess it could be us. You never know. You got the golden ticket.
I see what you just did there. You just quoted Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Exactly.
In case you didn't get that, I just had to make people out.
It's a reference. It's a reference. So we just started jamming, and we just writing some songs together, and we came up with our first song, Fade Away, which was a really big hit over here, and like the local stations wanted to play that, you know, so they wanted. So we were like, you know, cool, it's building up. We played a couple of gigs over here, and then we get the mammoth of all calls. Rolling Stones magazine, India, Hard Rock Cafe, you guys have won the award for best band in Sri Lanka, come and perform. And I'm like, we didn't even know that we had applied for this. Some fan had posted our song on the page, and that's how they got to know us. So I was like, are you sure you have the right number, sir? This is the fire department. And so with that we went to India, and I think, to be honest, like in terms of performances, I mean, I really love playing at home. I really love playing for, you know, my countrymen and my family and my friends. But there is something about performing with people that you haven't met before that is both challenging and uplifting, because you get to connect with somebody that's completely quote-unquote alien to you on a very fundamental level, and you live off that, you know, energy that's given from them to you, and it's almost symbiotic. And to know that, even like a good example is when we got off stage, there was this guy that had come all the way from Bangalore just to see us play, because he had heard about us and he heard our music.
And he's not Sri Lankan?
He's not Sri Lankan, he's Indian. So we were really touched, and he couldn't